Welcome back to Nation of Glory, the channel where we bring you stories filled with passion, resilience, and inspiration from the world of Hollywood. Today, we dive deep into the remarkable journey of a man who has redefined what it means to be versatile, fearless, and unforgettable. A man who was never afraid to walk away from the comfort zone, to take risks that others thought were impossible, and to carve his name into cinematic history. This is the story of Michael John Douglas, the man the world came to know as Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's life didn't start with glamour, red carpets, or flashing cameras. Born in September 1951 in Pennsylvania, the youngest of 7 children, Michael grew up in a working-class family. Life was simple, sometimes tough, but always filled with warmth. His parents instilled values of hard work, humility, and perseverance. In that environment, Michael developed a natural curiosity about people, voices, and the world around him. He was funny, he was clever, and he had a gift for imitation. He could mimic teachers, neighbors, and celebrities with ease. Little did anyone know, those little performances would one day lead him to the biggest stages in Hollywood. But the road to Hollywood was not straightforward. Michael studied speech at Kent State University, but left before graduating. He didn't have a clear roadmap, but he had determination. He worked odd jobs: cab driver, ice cream truck driver, stagehand on television shows, just to keep himself afloat. He had no powerful connections, no safety net, and no assurance that acting would ever work out. What he did have was passion and a willingness to take risks. That daring spirit would define his career. When Michael decided to pursue acting, he faced his first big challenge: his real name. Michael Douglas was already taken in Hollywood by another rising star. To avoid confusion, he chose the name Michael Keaton. That name was not just a label, it became an identity, a way to step into a new world with courage and individuality. His earliest roles came on television, where he brought his sharp comedic timing and improvisational brilliance. He landed small parts, then recurring roles, and slowly, people began to notice. In the late 1970s, he got his breakthrough on the show Working Stiffs alongside James Belushi. While the show didn't last long, Keaton's energy was undeniable. He had a spark that separated him from the crowd. Then came the 1980s, a defining decade for Michael Keaton. Hollywood was buzzing with comedies, and he was the perfect fit. His breakout film was Night Shift in 1982, where he played a fast-talking, unpredictable morgue attendant. The film didn't just make people laugh, it made them remember Michael Keaton. He wasn't just another comedian, he had presence, charisma, and a kind of controlled chaos that lit up the screen. That led to Mr. Mom, a comedy about a stay-at-home dad, navigating household chaos. The movie was a hit, and Keaton quickly became known as one of the funniest, most relatable actors of the time. Audiences loved him. He was quirky but grounded, hilarious yet human. By the mid-1980s, Michael Keaton had carved a space for himself as a comedy star. But deep inside, Keaton wanted more. He knew comedy was only one side of his talent. He wanted to explore drama, darkness, and depth. Hollywood, however, was not sure. To them, Michael Keaton was the funny guy, the safe bet for laughs. And then came a role that would change everything. In 1988, director Tim Burton cast Michael Keaton as the eccentric, wild, and bizarre character Beetlejuice. At first, people were skeptical. Could Keaton, the comedy dad from Mr. Mom, pull off such an outrageous role? But Keaton threw himself into it. With wild energy, strange voices, and total commitment, he created a character that was grotesque, hilarious, and unforgettable. Beetlejuice became a cult classic, and Keaton proved he was not limited to one genre. He could disappear into roles, reinvent himself, and surprise audiences every single time. And then came the role that shook Hollywood. Tim Burton chose Michael Keaton to play Batman in the 1989 film. The world was shocked. Batman? Michael Keaton? The funny guy? Critics and fans doubted him. But Keaton didn't listen. He embraced the role with intensity, giving Bruce Wayne a tortured soul, and Batman a mysterious edge. The film was a massive success, shattering box office records and silencing critics. Michael Keaton was now more than a comedy star, he was a global icon. He returned again in Batman Returns, and once more delivered a powerful performance that cemented him in cinematic history. For millions of fans, he became the definitive Batman. But true to his nature, Keaton didn't get trapped in the cape and cowl. He could have played Batman forever, but he knew that growth meant risk. He walked away, refusing to let one role define him. And that decision, though risky, would later become one of the reasons his career endured when others faded. The 1990s brought challenges. Hollywood is not always kind, and careers rise and fall. Keaton had hits and misses, and for a time, it seemed like his light was dimming. But those who truly knew his talent never doubted him. He worked on smaller projects, character-driven films, and lent his voice to animation. He never stopped working, never gave up, and never lost his spark. Then came one of the greatest comebacks in Hollywood history. In 2014, Michael Keaton starred in Birdman, a film about a washed-up actor, once famous for playing a superhero. The parallels to his own life were striking, but Keaton brought raw honesty, vulnerability, and brilliance to the role. The film was a masterpiece, winning multiple Academy Awards. Keaton himself received an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. The world remembered once again Michael Keaton was not just talented, he was extraordinary. From there, his career soared once again. He delivered unforgettable performances in Spotlight, a film that won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and in The Founder, where he portrayed Ray Kroc, the man behind McDonald's. Each role showed a new side of Keaton, complex, layered, and fearless. He continued to prove that age was no barrier, that talent only grows deeper with time. Beyond awards and roles, Michael Keaton's story is about resilience. It's about daring to reinvent yourself when the world puts you in a box. It's about walking away from certainty to chase growth. It's about believing in yourself when others doubt you. And it's about staying true to your craft, no matter how long the journey takes. In 2016, France honored him with the title of Officer of the Order of Arts and Letters, a recognition of his impact on culture and art. He has won Golden Globes, an Emmy, and the admiration of millions around the world. But perhaps his greatest achievement is not the trophies, it's the legacy of inspiration he leaves behind. Michael Keaton reminds us that success is not about never falling. It's about falling, getting up, and daring to fly again. From a young boy in Pennsylvania with big dreams, to Batman, to Birdman, to one of Hollywood's most respected actors, his journey is proof that greatness belongs to those who never stop believing in themselves. So, as we close this story, we celebrate not just an actor, but a man who showed us what it means to evolve, to risk, to fight, and to shine. Michael Keaton is more than a Hollywood star. He is a symbol of resilience, creativity, and the unbreakable spirit of an artist. Thank you for staying with us till the end of this journey through Michael Keaton's life. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to Nation of Glory, give this video a like, and share it with others who love inspiring stories. Until next time, stay inspired, stay strong, and keep believing in your own journey.